Tay asked where To had gone and why he hadn't come home yet. To replied that he was out for a walk with a friend, someone who had just returned from America. Tay felt worried. He asked when To would be coming home. After all, it was already late at night. To said that he was already an adult, and that Tay could give him a little space. However, Tay was afraid that his brother might meet someone bad. Then Tay asked whether Jimmy had contacted To. To answered no. Why was he asking? Tay said it was nothing, and then ended the call. Tay then checked Jimmy's social media. He saw that Jimmy was at a veterinary clinic. Hearing what To had said earlier, Jimmy began teasing To, asking if he didn't know that he lived in the US. To smiled. He had deliberately lied so as not to make his younger brother worry. After hearing that To was out with a friend, Jimmy invited him to stay over at his place, so he could hug To instead of Sensei. When To tried to make excuses, Jimmy kept pleading with him. Just one night, and Jimmy wanted To to stay with him, while To was taking a shower. He was startled when Jimmy came in. Jimmy asked for permission to help To bathe. But that permission was not just about bathing. Jimmy began kissing To. Meanwhile, in Tay's room, a message came in from Fa. All Tay could do was read the message. Fa, curious about Tay's change, wondered what was really going on with Tay. Tay didn't reply at all. Was Tay arguing with To? Fa tried to contact To, but just as To was about to answer, Jimmy came. He asked whether To wasn't going to answer the call. To said that maybe Fa was calling to ask where To was. To was afraid that if he kept lying, his younger brother would find out. So he decided not to answer. Hearing To's answer, Jimmy kissed To's forehead. To Jimmy, To was cute, because he was so afraid of his younger brother. Blushing, To said that it was all Jimmy's fault. Jimmy made him look like a liar. Jimmy asked whether lying for To's peace of mind was wrong. To then asked in return whether Jimmy had ever lied to him. Nervous, Jimmy asked what kind of thing he would need to lie about. To only hoped that Jimmy wouldn't hurt him. To reminded Jimmy not to be cruel to him. The only answer Jimmy gave was a kiss. The next morning at the veterinary clinic, Jimmy was very happy because Sensei had recovered. He was back to normal. Jimmy then received a call from his friend, asking him to go to campus immediately. He asked To to help take Sensei back to his condominium. Before leaving, Jimmy told Sensei to go home first with his mom, and that his dad would be home soon. He didn't forget to kiss To. After class ended, Jimmy was about to go home, when Tay asked where Jimmy had taken To, because he hadn't come home the night before. Jimmy replied that Sensei, his cat, had been hit by a car and was treated at the hospital. How did Tay know that? Tay didn't want to believe him, but Jimmy let Tay think whatever he wanted. It was better for him to go check on Sensei's condition. Tay then asked whether Jimmy was sure that he would stay away from his brother. Jimmy said yes. Then what about Tay? Had he stayed away from Fa? Tay answered yes. Even so, Tay asked about Sensei's condition. Jimmy explained that Sensei had only been shocked and needed to stay overnight for observation. Tay was relieved, because there was no serious problem. Fa came to the class where Jimmy and Tay were. Jimmy and Tay exchanged glances. Fa said that he was looking for Jimmy, and asked whether he had some free time. Fa wanted Jimmy to go with him. Tae, realizing that, was shocked and couldn't do anything. That's all for this part. See you in the next episode 5. Thank you for watching and then have a nice day.